Hey, what's up guys and welcome back to Anime King 2, and today I'm going to be giving you part 5 of What If Naruto Was a Genius with a Stealing Bloodline Ability. Remember to get this one to 100 likes as usual, share this to all of your friends on your social media platform, and also guys, don't forget to stay in tune for the rest of what is coming your way over on Anime King 3, and Anime Prince, which I post What If on every single day. Yes, you heard that correctly, every single day for you guys to enjoy. So go ahead and click that red subscribe button and become a part of the Anime King family, and thank you for all of your help and your support. And don't forget to comment down below and tell me if you're new so I can welcome you personally guys. So without further ado or wasting any more time, what do you say we jump right into this brand new episode begin now guys? So the last spot we left off, Naruto was greeted by two of his subordinates, those being Genos and Saitama. Their background history has not been told yet, however they seem to be working for Naruto, and given the honorifics that Genos used when talking to Naruto, he seemed to have great respect for him. It seems like Naruto was involved in the process of him being alive right now, as Naruto had a new mission for them rather than hunting down bloodlines. He wanted them to stay here for a while and protect Tsunami and her family until they can get their guards, as she was now the daimyo, and not to mention taking over Gato business. A lot of Gato people from the past and people that Gato has screwed over will want to come after her, so she will have to be protected. And he also instructed them to teach Inari just the basics so that he could handle any Gato-like threat that might come after them, as both men agree. So with that, the time passed as the group went back to Konoha. Through the month that passed by, Kakashi still had not gotten enough on Naruto. Yes, he still had not. However, Sasuke now had told him in both of his eyes. During the Land of Wave mission, Naruto had met up with Sasuke and told him that he can help him awaken his Sharingan, as Naruto placed up a barrier and told him that he was gonna kill him until he awakened the eye. After all, in stressful situation the Sharingan would come to life, right? As Sasuke's screams could be heard inside the barrier, but they were not piercing through. So with that, Kakashi had been trying to get more understanding on them, but he had no idea. Even Sakura he gave some more advanced training to, but the girl was not really taking to it, as she was the only one that he was worried about when it come to the Chunin exams. He was called to the office and Jiraiya was there. Jiraiya told him that he will be taking things from now on. Yes, he will be taking over the Naruto deep dive to find out exactly what was his deal and what was he doing, as he told Kakashi to still remain vigilant while he take over everything, as he also told him about the group, the Akatsuki, that might be coming after Naruto, which would be a big problem. Said organization composed of S-rank miscellaneous. Now that was a problem. However, the real problem was an organization only known as the Bloodline. There was no other information Jiraiya had on it. They were only known as the Bloodline. They were stealing Bloodline users, and they have said to steal members from Konoha already. So that means someone in Konoha was linked to this organization. Now that was a real problem. They had to find out who it was, as he told all the Jonin senseis to remain vigilant with their students, seeing that all of them had Bloodline student on their, well, teams. So with that, Naruto and the others were going to be placed in the Chunin exams. So all they had to do was wait. We then skip to the second part of the Chunin exams where Naruto came across Karin and saved her life. as he told her that she was a Uzumaki, something that she did not know. Her parents died rather early, and she was, well, left alone. So she did not know about her background, but Naruto told her everything, as he could feel it inside of her blood. There was no mistaking it. She was shocked, as Naruto quickly let her understand what he planned to do. He trusted her, and she trusted him. However, they were attacked, as 3 members of Sound 4 arrived. Orochimaru now wanted Naruto dead. After all, a lot had happened over the past month. Orochimaru had wanted Naruto to work on the curse mark, but something had happened. As the Sound 4 was there, it turns out that the girl Tayuya was also a part of their group as well, and she was also Uzumaki. She could tell that he was not lying. However, they brought up the fact that Naruto had blonde hair, and they had red, so what did that mean? As Naruto told them plain and simple that his father was the 4th Hokage, shocking them. His dominant genes took over his features and his hair, as they had no idea why Orochimaru sent them to kill him, as Naruto believed that he should enlighten them on why Orochimaru wanted him dead. Despite knowing better that they should just follow Orochimaru's lead, the group that stood there, waiting to hear what he had to say. So yeah guys, basically as left off, you guys can switch across and please check it out for yourself. And don't forget to go ahead and check out the other what ifs of the other channels. So yeah, without further ado or wasting more time, what do you say we jump right into this? Begin now guys. We begin this in the Forest of Death, as Naruto looked over towards the 3 members of the Sound 4 that was there. Do you guys even know why Orochimaru want me out of the way? Well, he doesn't seem like the one to tolerate any sort of questioning. And if he did not tell you, I'm guessing that you didn't bother to ask for your own sakes, right? Said Naruto. They're silent, serving as Naruto answers that they had no idea why they were supposed to eliminate the blonde Uzumaki. I guess I have no other choice but to tell you. You see, there's one other thing that you don't know about the Uzumaki clan. Well, there's a whole lot, but this one particular thing is relevant to this conversation. The Uzumaki clan had a bloodline limit, like affinity, for their sealing arts and barrier arts, branch like ninjutsu. We were so good that conventional sealing masters were literally equivalent to a Uzumaki novice. Now you can imagine being the son of the 4th Hokage, who was revered for his sealing and barrier arts expertise, and Kushina Uzumaki, the heiress to the great Uzumaki clan. How good I must be in those arts. Orochimaru sought my help to complete those various seals that you have on your necks, and to help him advance and improve upon the Edo Tensei. He met me through Kabuto, who is my friend and mentor. However, he must have decided that I'm a potential threat that he absolutely cannot ignore, and that he must eliminate me because I know too much about his plans. So he sent you 3 after me. Naruto explained, as he took a moment before starting once again. As far as putting Tayuya-chan on the team, I have no idea what he was thinking. It might be that he doesn't know that she's a Uzumaki, or it might be that he did it for his own amusement, or to satisfy his own curiosity to see what would happen if he's anything like Kabuto, which in my impression that they are both very similar in personality. Then I wouldn't be surprised it's the latter. However, I'm afraid that he miscalculated. How so? Said Seikon. His tone was curious and cautious. I told you, everyone else is a novice compared to a Uzumaki sealing master. I have the means to easily remove Orochimaru's control over you that he has retained by the curse mark. Tayuya, I can free you of Orochimaru's control without you losing the power of the curse seal. It will take me no more than 3 minutes, maybe less. The 2 of you, I mean 3 of you, Seikon, Ukon, Drobo, I can free you too. What? No way. You're the leader of the bloodline? Tayuya said in shock and surprise. Yes, but I'm surprised that you even know about us. We've gone through great lengths to keep our existence a secret, said Naruto. I was tasked with the investigation. I took a crew of our best trackers and spy. All we were able to figure out is that you work in 2-man cell, and that you hunt down bloodline users. We never got a single name or proper description of any of the members though, said Tayuya. I guess it was fate then that we end up meeting like this. Fate has been trying to unite us for quite some time now, and it seems it has finally succeeded. Seikon, Drobo, what say you? Do you want to be free of Orochimaru control? You don't have to join me. You can go wherever you like and do what you want, or you can join the Bloodline. It is all up to you. Tayuya, I would prefer that we stay together seeing that we're family. But it's up to you as well. I don't want to use fear and oppression to control my comrades like Orochimaru. I prefer that you choose to follow me of your own volition. I will free you of his control no matter what you decide. No thanks, Seikon said. What? Said Naruto looking towards him. I said no thanks. Call him what you will, but Orochimaru-sama has done a lot for us. He trained us, gave us a home, gave us something to live for, and gave us the power of the curse seal. What can you do for us? What can you do better than him? Seikon said. Well, I can give you a powerful bloodline for starters, said Naruto. What? Said Drobo, saying what all of them want to see at that moment. I have created the ultimate jutsu, a jutsu called the chimera jutsu. To put simply, this jutsu entails me to fuse an entire corpse of a bloodline user into another person. They will obtain the bloodline of the deceased, but not only that. Access to his or her memories as well, jutsus and experience. Do you get it now? If I'm going to rebuild Whirlpool, I need the village to have powerful people as leaders of the founding clans. That is why I create this jutsu, to ensure that all the clans have powerful Kekkei Genkai users. In other words, the members of the bloodline will be the founding members and the clan heads of New Whirlpool. You could become part of this legacy as well. All you have to do is allow me to cut down your shackles, said Naruto. That is amazing, honestly. It's incredible, inspirational. However, the answer is no. We will not betray Orochimaru-sama. Seikon spoke up on behalf of his team. He's loyal and stubborn. I wonder what will he do when I tell him this, Naruto thought, a sinister look on his face. Okay, I have to assume that you have no idea what your role really is in Orochimaru's plan, do you? Naruto asks. My role is to destroy all of Orochimaru-sama enemies, Seikon said. Just as I thought. You guys really have no idea, do you? Naruto said, with mock sadness. Just hurry up and spill it. What the hell are you talking about? Tayuya yelled. The Elite Zone 5 are nothing more than Orochimaru, future vessels. The reason why Orochimaru can cause you pain or paralyze you by using a curse mark is because he's sealed a part of his essence inside of each and every one of your marks. However, the ability to cause you pain and paralyze you is not just so that he can control you. It is so that you won't be able to fight back when he's ready to take over your body. And the other reason for sealing his essence into the seal is to make your body more compatible with his, so that it will be easier for him to take over your body and suppress you. Naruto revealed, as the three of them were shocked. No way, he wouldn't. Who am I kidding, Tayuya said. Of course he would. As her emotion shifted from disbelief, shock, acceptance, and then frustration, and most of all, rage. Anger at Orochimaru for what he did, and to think that he would treat her this way. It was no different than how he treated everyone else. As Seikon spoke up, watch your mouth, Taya, shut the hell up, Ukon, she said, cutting him off. It's Seikon, he yelled at her. Whatever, screw you and the Sound 4, especially that creepy bastard Orochimaru. I am not about to be swallowed by that slimy freak. Hey, dipshit, she said, turning towards Naruto. Are you serious? Can you really get that slimy freak out of me? And that you can give me a bloodline limit? And that you're really my cousin? Tayuya asks. Yes to all of your questions. All you have to do is to take. Naruto trailed off, as Tayuya leaped forward and grabbed Karin and leaped up towards a branch. She looked down. I'll take the Red Eye Beach with me as insurance while you fight those two bastards. If you can defeat them, then it will help me to believe that you are who you say you are. The leader of an organization as powerful as the Bloodline should be able to hold his own in a fight, don't you think? Tayuya said in a taunting tone. She's smart, Naruto thought to himself. If I win, she will be reassured that I am who I say I am, and that she made the right decision, and she know that I won't kill her for her insolence because she's family, and I can't afford to lose family members, given how few they are. She also know because of her chakra sense and ability that I'm strong enough to take them on, and even if I don't come out on top, she can simply kill them in their weakened state and take Karin to Orochimaru, someone that can more than make up for these two, with who she actually is. She's playing both sides. Well, actually, she's choosing me, but if she's wrong, she can cover her mistake up and return back to Orochimaru without being seen as a traitor and killed. Tuh! Naruto was snapped from his thoughts. I always knew that you were not reliable, you witch. You better be sure that we'll be coming after you next when we're done with this brat, Drobo said towards her, in frustration and anger. I'll just kick your fat ass like I always do, said Tayuya. Leave her be, Drobo. We'll deal with her later. The mission come first, Seikon ordered. They must not know that Naruto-kun is a Jinchuriki, much less a perfect one. Otherwise, they would not be so overconfident in their win. I don't know if Orochimaru is an idiot or perhaps he's a sadist for sending them along. Does he really think they can defeat Naruto-kun? Karin thought to herself, as she completely forget that she was in a hostage situation right now, because she had 100% confidence in Naruto, as she smirked. Back down below, I'll still give you one more chance to— Enough, Seikon said, interrupting Naruto. We were sent here to eliminate you, and that is exactly what we're gonna do. Yeah, sorry but your time has run out, tree hugger, said Drobo. Alright then, said Naruto. I guess I'll be adding your corpse to my collection. He held up both of his hands as two spiraling balls start to form in both of his hands. No way, Seikon said in surprise, as he stared in disbelief at that jutsu. What the hell is that? It looks dangerous, said Drobo. I know that jutsu. Orochimaru-sama told us about it once. It's a 4th Hokage original jutsu, the Rasengan. Careful, Drobo. Get hit by one of those, and you're done for. Okay, said Drobo as he remained cautious. Listen, let's spread out. The Rasengan is a close range assassination type jutsu. The 4th Hokage uses insane speed, along with his instant teleportation in combined with the Rasengan, in order to land a hit on multiple targets. I am guessing that he's also fast, but seeing that he has not pulled out or distributed any tree from kunai around the battlefield, I am guessing that he has not learned or mastered the Hiraishin jutsu. He's still probably fast like his father, so caution will have to be exercised, Seikon said, moving to his right as Drobo moved to the left, seeing that Naruto created 2 Rasengans, as they did not want him to attack the both of them at once, so they spread out. Drobo, activate level 1. We will need it to counter against his alleged speed. Black seal markings started to spread around him. Drobo was covered the next second as their chakra started to spike, becoming denser, stronger, thicker, and more sinister. However, Naruto raised both of his hands, pointing one towards Seikon, the other one towards Drobo, when he muttered the words, Flying Rasengan. The attacks blasted from his palm at blinding speed towards their targets. Neither of them knew that the Rasengan could be used like that, and besides, it was too fast. The both of them were slammed by the attack, blasting them away. Their bodies collided into numerous trees and breaking through them as said trees crashed down to the ground. It felt like they were airborne for miles, as their bodies created gigantic trench and craters when they finally came to a stop. Hey, what the hell, dipshit? I thought that was supposed to be a close comeback technique. Seikon is a big collector of information about the past. He wouldn't say something like that unless he went through the past information thoroughly, said Tayuya, as she was shocked herself. The new generation is always supposed to improve and surpass the old generation, so that is exactly what I did. I took my father's jutsu and improved upon it, of course, although those were just normal Rasengans I used, propelled forward with a high-density wing technique. That is all the flying Rasengan truly is, said Naruto. Oh, I see. Well, that is still impressive. You can use a Rasengan without putting your body on the line like the Fortikage did. However, I wouldn't celebrate so soon if I were you. As 3 people start to walk back into the clearing. Yes, 3. You brat! Can you imagine what it's like? For when you're taking a long ass nap, and a little brat like yourself decide to kill your twin brother, who you are fused to and are currently sleeping within, taking away your nap time and almost completely making you sleep forever. You must be Ukon, said Naruto. It's nice of you to join us, but more so I'm impressed by your regeneration abilities. That Rasengan should have completely obliterated your insides, and yet, here you are, completely recovered. I never imagined activating level 2 of the curse mark would have such a boost in effect, Naruto said, genuinely intrigued. You almost killed us, you fat little prick. I'll kill you, said Drobo, as Naruto scratched the side of his face. I'm the fat one? He asked, with a raised eyebrow. Enough, Seikon said, as he disappeared. He reappeared behind Naruto and swung a brutal kick in Naruto's back. Naruto spun around and crossed his arms. The kick was heavy though, as it blasted in his guard. He was sent sailing through the sky, before crashing hard on the ground. The kick was actually able to break his defenses, as Naruto spat up blood. That was fast. Way too fast. He's definitely faster than me. Faster than Kakashi, and Zabuza even. And he's also physically stronger than Kakashi, Naruto thought, as he got back up to his feet. If he had to be honest with himself, Naruto would say that without tapping into the power of the Kyuubi, or using any of his special enhancements, its normal speed, just by himself, was around Jonin level, or maybe a bit higher than a normal Jonin. And his strength was the same as well, Jonin level. That was without any enhancement or any modification or any Kyuubi's chakra. However, that was incredible, even in normal means after all. Achieving the rank of Jonin was nothing, well, easy. It was an extremely difficult task. And he was also 13 years old, so yes, that was a big congratulations on his part. However, there are still ninjas out there that are not Kage level, however, they still are far better than a standard Jonin. These ninjas are known as elite level Jonin, or simply elite Jonin. People like Kakashi, the late Zabuza Mamakai, and Yuki Haku fall in these categories. Now it was true that Naruto was responsible for the death of Zabuza and Haku, however, he did not directly end their life. He relied on his summons to fight them. The truth of the matter is that Naruto realized he had never defeated the elite Jonin level ninja by himself without relying on the Kyuubi's power or his summons or other enhancements. When he fought the cousin of Zabuza, Gatsu, all those years ago, he relied on the Kyuubi's chakra and he used his summons for Haku and Zabuza. Sure, he defeated Kakashi without any use of that. However, those were different circumstances. For one, Kakashi had no killer intent because it was a simple training exercise. Secondly, Kakashi's mind was filled with information that was completely false about him. And finally, Naruto had a lot of information on Kakashi, so that he could prey on his weaknesses. Simply put, the odds were stacked in his favor, and it wasn't something that Kakashi could overcome at that time. Nevertheless, it said a lot about these guys. Their speed and strength were above elite Jonins. It is no wonder Orochimaru chose them to be his elite bodyguards, but most of that came from the curse mark level 2 that the 3 of them were now using. But despite all of that, Naruto would not use the Fox Chakra, seeing that he was working on a way for him to separate himself permanently from the Fox. The reason for this is, until he separated himself from the Fox, he would not be able to use the Chimera jutsu on himself because the Fox was interfering with the process, and that is something that cannot happen for too long. So he had to separate himself from the beast. So he needed to learn how to win battles with his own power, as it would not be there with him in the future, and he should not rely on it that much. He's still alive. You must be losing your touch, brother, Ukon said, surprised in his tone. I am certain I crushed his insides. He must have a high regeneration ability, Seikon said in defense. Then let us crush his entire body into a pulp and see if he can regenerate from that, Drobo said. Okay, you stay where you are, Drobo, and wait for a clear opening, and then you crush him into a pulp. Seikon and I would create the opening. That is if we don't crush him ourselves, Ukon said. Got it, Drobo said in an excited way. As Naruto felt their chakra move, as the twins rushed towards him. However, this time Naruto was able to completely avoid their attack as he ducked, bob, weave, and leap. As he tried to gather chakra in his palm, they jumped away, as they were not willing to chance it. However, this was all a trap. Drobo came at him from his blind spot, as the other two were trying to keep him occupied. Naruto was surprised. Given how big he was surprised that he was this fast. He threw a punch, however. He hit nothing but air. Naruto was already gone. Drobo had packed so much power in that punch, so when it missed, his fist did not stop as it plundered into the earth. The entire place erupted. Dust and debris, trees rooting up, everything exploded violently. That's insane, said Karin as she looked towards all the destruction. As for Naruto, it would have been bad if I was hit full on with that attack. He's so much stronger than the twins. And those guys are ridiculously strong themselves, Naruto thought. Hey, what the hell is going on here? The last time I checked, I was able to hit him with my speed and now he's outpacing us this easily. What the hell is this? Said Seikon. As Naruto looked down towards him. Shumpo Jutsu, he said. Am I supposed to know what the hell that means? Well, I figured, seeing that you guys decided to get an upgrade with your curse mark, I figure I should do the same. It's a wind technique I created. It allowed me to surround my body with wind to completely erase any other pressure or resistance in my movement, and it also helped to boost my sunshine ability. In a result, my speed and bodily movement increase significantly, so I'm quite able to predict and outmaneuver your attack, said Naruto. I have to give props where props are needed. For your creativity and ninjutsu, your talent at creating such a awesome technique, and not to mention mastering the fourth Hokage Rasengan and being able to use it like a long-range weapon. However, we won't allow you to hit us with that ever again. And because of your physical attacks barely affecting us, while we're using version 2, running away, it's not going to help you win this battle. And if you can't defeat us, Tayuya is just going to take that red-eye bitch back towards Orochimaru-sama since you could not convince her that you're worth her defecting for. You're going to lose everything, Seikon said, taunting Naruto with joy and glee in his eyes. I'm not stupid, you know, said Naruto. I can see right through your act. You're trying to bait me into attacking you recklessly. Because, you know, with my extra speed, super reflex and sensory ability, you can't touch me. You're worried that this is becoming a stalemate. After all, there's a limit for how long you can stay in level 2, isn't there, said Naruto. Why, you little... Seikon trailed off with anger, dripping from his tone. Well, of course, I have no intention of dragging this out myself, nor do I intend for either of you to escape with your life, said Naruto. Ukon burst out laughing. You actually think that you stand a chance against us? Mark my word, fourth Hokage brat. We will finish you off in the next 6 move, Ukon said. You assume that you've seen everything I can do, that you begin to grasp the true power of my abilities. But you're wrong. But I must commend you guys on your strength. It's a shame that I will have to cut you down right here and now. Out of respect for your skill, and me acknowledging your power, allow me to show you one of my ultimate techniques. Naruto's body exploded with a violent chakra shroud as it surrounded and covered him. What the hell is that thing surrounding him? Drobo said in shock. Never in his life has he felt such powerful, strong chakra or even seen anything remotely close to what he's seen right now. The potency and frequency of that chakra is ridiculous. It's rapidly spinning in all different directions. It's like his Rasengan, but he's channeling it. around his entire body, Ukon said. Congratulations, Ukon, that was a fabulous analysis. This indeed is a full body Rasengan. This is my reason, Chakra no Yorui. My ultimate defensive and offensive technique. It is what you essentially call a Nin Taijutsu technique. Spiraling chakra armor. Nin Taijutsu? Ultimate, defensive and offensive? Seikon repeated, in disbelief. Yes, essentially. Trying to punch me now would be the same as punching through my Rasengan. And the other way as well. So when I punch you, it will be like you're being hit by my Rasengan. It has a lot more benefits, but let's not go into that right now, shall we? I told you that I've acknowledged your strength, and for that, I would show you one of my ultimate technique. But now it's time that I end this, said Naruto. Don't you underestimate us, Ukon shouted. As Ukon merged back with his brother, turning into a two-headed monster. Merging with my idiotic brother is just a distraction. It will buy us time. Our match fighting style is not gonna do shit against this guy, with his entire body turned into a Rasengan. That Rasengan jutsu was powerful as hell, and there is no jutsu in our arsenal that will be able to penetrate that, not even Drobo super strength. The only time before now that I feel I need to run from my enemies when I face Kimimaro. I never thought we would meet someone like that again. He truly is the son of the fourth Hokage, Ukon thought. Similar thoughts going through his brother and Drobo mind. You're not the only one with the ultimate defensive move. Let's show him, Seikon, Ukon yelled. As Drobo eyes also light up as realization dawned on all of them. It was a jutsu Orochimaru personally taught to the twins, the Rashomon Gate. However, this was not an offensive jutsu. This was a defensive jutsu. The reason being they were going to get the hell out of there. Ukon had just secretly called for a retreat. They had to run. They could not win against the Uzumaki. They would die. As Drobo also understood. Okay, let's do it, bro. Seikon trailed off, unable to finish his sentence. In a fraction of a second, Naruto appeared in front of them and slammed right in between, right at the center of their chests. Both of them were stunned, the force just sinking in. Naruto did tell them that there were some other benefits that he didn't have time to go over. This did not only boost his defensive abilities, but its natural speed and everything else was increased by the fluctuation of power, something that he did not tell them. And they thought they actually stood a chance against winning, especially when he was like this. A hole had been blasted through. Clean Ukon. Ukon's body had got a gigantic hole right through it. They immediately split apart as Ukon fell down dead. As Seikon collapsed down to the ground, he was also affected as he was in pain. Impossible, he said. It seems your brother protected you by rearranging your cell structure so he could take the majority of the damage. Perhaps he thought he would survive after one blow. However, he was wrong, said Naruto. As he raised his hand, "Wait, you bastard!" the younger twin yelled out. But Naruto ignored him and dropped the fist in his chest. What Drobo did was nothing compared to what Naruto Fist did. The entire forest area erupted. Drobo was sent sailing away by the force, as he had to tear his hand into the ground to stop himself. Tayuya had to leap away, with Karin in tow, moving as far as possible as everything was destroyed. The both of them could not fathom that amount of power by one punch. I have not forgotten you, Drobo. Drobo's legs started to shake. He only felt this way when Orochimaru or Kimimaro turned his wrath upon them being the Sound 4. But this person, this monster in front of him, was far worse. Do not be afraid. I'm not the type to play with my prey when I get serious like this. I will end it in an instant, said Naruto, as he started to walk. Before he vanished, Drobo felt all the hair on his head stand up. His body froze. He could not move, as Naruto stood behind him. The moment he turned around, he was dead. Time skip. Thank you, Shitstain. Tayuya said, despite still calling him that. She sounded vulnerable right now. As Naruto adjusts, eradicated Orochimaru from the curse mark. And she still had the benefits of it. However, she still could not believe that that creepy piece of crap placed his soul inside of her, and it had been in there the entire time. Getting Jogo DNA planted inside of her was one thing, but being a container for Orochimaru's soul was another thing entirely. She was so happy Naruto told her about it, and so much more happier that he removed the damn thing. In fact, she couldn't remember being happier than how she felt right now, and she was looking forward to have a family. A real family. She hoped it would be different than what she had with the Sound 5. Orochimaru had told them from this day going forward they would be a family, but that was not what a family was. Kimimaro was a horrible big brother, and always seemed to be in a bad mood, and just an inch away from slaughtering all of them. The others only looked out for themselves, and they would have gladly stabbed her in the back if it meant advancing their own power, or looking good in Orochimaru's eyes. It wasn't how she pictured family, but it has been so long that she shut down the other part of herself as a result. However, Shitstain and the red-eyed bitch had awakened that part of her that she thought that she put to bed for good. Perhaps it was because they said that they were her real relative. Perhaps it was because she could tell that it was true. That is why it was so easy for her to defect from Orochimaru's side. Or perhaps their spirit was just alike, as they had to survive outcasts as well. Lonely souls, just like her. Whatever it was, she only knew one thing right now: it felt right. And this was the happiest she ever been in her entire life. Even if it turned out to be a lie. Even if it turned out that this was just another person that wanted to use her for his own game. She just wanted to live in this moment for as long as possible. It was my pleasure, Tayuya-chan, said Naruto. Her cheeks became red at the suffix that he used. Don't call me that, you stupid shit stain, she said. You're one of my precious person. So I can't help it, said Naruto. In any case, we don't have time to properly bond as a family right now. There are still more pressing issues out there. Tayuya got serious. What is it, she asked. I am going to send you two to the Forest of Enlightenment. That is the home of my summoning species, the chimera ants. I'll send a reinforced shadow clone with you to smooth things over there. Tayuya, you're already quite strong, an elite jonin already. However, you're gonna have to become a lot stronger to become a member of the Bloodline, strong enough to take on a person of your former master caliber. You mean strong enough to defeat the snake bastard? You really think that is possible? Tayuya asked skeptically. She's seen how powerful Orochimaru was. After all, he was one of the legendary Sanins, hailed and considered to be great even amongst the Sanins. His jutsu repertoire was large, and he was considered to be a master of powerful forbidden jutsus. As powerful as she was, she never thought that she once would be able to stand up to someone like Orochimaru. So to hear him say that, it was rather shocking. It is. You don't understand your true potential because you don't understand what it means to be a true Uzumaki. But I will educate and train you, and so will the Chimera and clan. When we're done with you, you'll be one of the most powerful beings on the planet. There's also what it means to be a member of the Bloodline as well. What do you mean what it means to be a member? Asked Tayuya. We don't just collect corpses of Bloodline users for nothing, you know. The Chimera jutsu that I have allow me to fuse said corpses with other people, empowering said person with the full power of the deceased bloodline. So in other words, I can give you a bloodline limit. However, I don't give out bloodline limits randomly. I have to evaluate you thoroughly so I can see which one will better suit you. Hence the testing then, Tayuya said, as realization dawned on her. Exactly, said Naruto. I see. So you're saying that there is power in being a Uzumaki. The bloodline trait make us strong. Super strong chakra, extreme large reserves, unnatural strength, durability, and unreal affinity for barrier and sealing jutsus. A yin and yang bloodline release. Yang release is associated with a strong body and strong life force. The normal aging process limit for Uzumaki. being more than twice of a normal human being. Needless to say, mastery, complete mastery over the Uzumaki bloodline limit, and forbidden jutsu automatically make you a Kage level ninja. Being a member of the bloodline organization makes you even greater, because a suitable bloodline limit will also be bestowed upon you. I see. I can totally see it now. And you know what? I want to be the one to kill the snake bastard, if you don't mind. Killing Orochimaru will not be our main priority, but if it becomes necessary, then I'll let you have a go at it, said Naruto. What? You can't be serious. He just tried to have you killed. How can killing him not be a main priority? Karin said, interjecting the conversation. As Naruto almost forgot that she was there. She had been so quiet as he was talking to Tayuya. Well, as Tayuya no doubt knows, Orochimaru planned to invade Konoha with the help of the sun and the sun as well. It is to our mutual benefit that his attack proceed and succeed. I need Konoha destroyed or weakened to make things easier for me. And the bloodline when I do defect from Konoha. Depending on how well the invasion goes, I could be out of here by the end of the Chunin exams. A full strength Konoha would make things inconvenient for us. A weakened Konoha will have other serious issues to worry about, and they wouldn't be able to allocate enough manpower for us. And a destroyed Konoha will be inconsequential, said Naruto. I see. You really are a true shinobi to the core, aren't you? Petty emotions like need for revenge are cast away for logic and long-term strategies. You really are a great leader material, said Tayuya, as she was impressed by him, and he stuck to his words. Despite her hate in the Sound 5, she was comrade with them on several missions, so she rather liked how Naruto handled things quickly and professionally, as he ended up killing them without causing any drag-out pain or suffering. You give me too much praise, Yu-chan, said Naruto, but thank you nonetheless. As her face turned red at Naruto calling her Yu-chan. Bastard, she said. Stop saying my name like that. As she was angered and both flustered by it. I already told you it was impossible for me to address you in any other way, because you're one of the people I hold dear to my heart, he said simply. In any case, unfortunate as it is, it's time for us to part ways. I will now summon a messenger of the chimera ants to take you back to the Forest of Enlightenment. Be warned, you'll be entering a very beautiful but also harsh environment. The king of the chimera ants, Miriam Dono, does not tolerate weakness or incompetence. It will be the most trying experience of your life, but you'll be so much stronger when you come out of it. Your pain and suffering will not be for nothing, said Naruto. His tone was a bit dark. When will you pay us a visit? Karin asked. Soon, said Naruto. Sometime after the Chunin exams. After the invasion, to be more precise. So like roughly a month and a quarter away from now, give or take, Tayuya said. She wasn't as scared as Karin was, after all. She had survived growing up as one of Orochimaru's pets. She just could not imagine anything worse than the things that she had seen in the Hidden Sound. However, she was concerned. Naruto would probably mop the floor with her if they were to fight right now. And if someone as strong as he is said that that place was a harsh environment, then she had to take his word for it. And maybe she will have to keep an eye out for Karin, because there is no way in hell someone like her will survive a place like that on her own. Yes, give or take, said Naruto, as he went through hand sign. Summoning jutsu. Time skip. Naruto had to fight the urge hard to shake his head at the pitiful attempt of Sakura and Sasuke of trying to hide Orochimaru curse mark away from him, as he couldn't understand why they were even trying to hide it away. Was it because he had so many secrets and they felt good to have one that he did not know? Was it because they did not want to worry him, as ridiculous as that may sound? Or was it because Sasuke insisted that Sakura not say a word because his pride was wounded after that battle? Weirdly enough, it seems like Kakashi was also in on it as well, as Naruto asked him when he had took Sasuke away. However, he told him that everything was fine and there was nothing that he should worry about. Honestly, it was pitiful and rather, well, amusing that they were trying to hide something so hard away from him that was his own creation. Nevertheless, Naruto was surprised by Sasuke's willpower. as he was able to stop the mark from activating when it tried to take over, as Sasuke will become very good at using that. However, Naruto did not know what to do with Sasuke, whether to recruit him or not. As far as Sasuke was, right now he was a blank canvas, a person that could be dyed in any color. He could grow up to become the greatest evil in the world, or he could become a force of good, or he can become neutral, neither good or bad. Despite him being arrogant, his personality was hard to figure out sometimes, which is why Naruto was having a difficult time, whether on recruiting him or not. However, if he did not fix the seal and recruit him though, Orochimaru would get his hands on Sasuke. There was no question about that. And despite it all, Orochimaru just tried to have him kill, so he did not think it was a good idea to allow him to get his hands on the Sharingan. No, Naruto thought, I have to stay true to my convictions. Recruiting people simply for the sake of not wanting to join someone else is not how I do things. I recruit people who I can connect with, people who I share a bond with, people I can trust. Sasuke does not fit any of this. The only other option would be to kill him before he joined Orochimaru. But that was also against his conviction, killing someone who has not even taken a life yet. I guess my decision is made then. What Sasuke does from here on out is up to him. Besides, I'm still trying to get rid of the fox, so that the Akatsuki doesn't become a problem for me. Killing Sasuke would be counterproductive. There is no way on this planet that Itachi accidentally left Sasuke alive. He obviously still loves him, or has plans for him. Although, recruiting Sasuke also means him killing Itachi, therefore getting mixed up with the Akatsuki as well. So for the sake of the bloodline, and avoid an unnecessary war with the Akatsuki, I must let Sasuke go. If anything, this will serve my purpose just fine. By going after Sasuke, Orochimaru will once again make an enemy out of Itachi, and Itachi has already beat him once, so his hands will be full. If he loses the war with Konoha, then even better. Both he and Konoha will be weakened, and therefore I can move without any hindrance in our path, and speed up our consolation of power. This is the right move. I must forget about Uchiha Sasuke. Naruto concluded as he came to a complete stop, right in the center of training ground of Team 7. You've been following me since the second phase of the exam ended. Come out now, Jiraiya-sama. I know that you're there, Naruto called out. Naruto had to admit he was a bit surprised to see Jiraiya at the preliminary exam. He had never seen him in person despite knowing a lot about him, as he was in his mother and father journals. Yes, they wrote about him, but this was the first time that Naruto would be able to see him face to face. Oh ho! I can't believe the great Jiraiya-sama, sage of Mount Miyaboku, the greatest spy master in the world, was discovered by a mere genin. Jiraiya said as he came dancing out of the foliage, as Naruto cringed at his dancing. You were paying a lot of attention to me during the preliminaries. Too much attention. So when I figured someone was following me, I figured it had to be you, said Naruto. Oh? And how did you know I was following you in the first place? I don't mean to toot my own horn, but I followed people who later on went to become Kages, without even them knowing I was on their trail. He said in a complete serious tone, completely different from the goofy look that he just gave Naruto a moment ago. Because I too was following you. A clone of Naruto came out from the woods behind Jiraiya. To say that Jiraiya was shocked was to say that Orochimaru was creepy. Yes, a massive understatement. He was so shocked that he had to use every ounce of willpower not to jump away. However, his shoulders did tighten a bit. As to someone like Naruto who was able to see that, he knew. Impossible. When did Jiraiya trail off? As Naruto spoke up, the predator is most vulnerable when it's stalking its prey. Everything else is zoned out, and the full attention is given onto its hunt at watching said prey. This is especially true for an apex predator like yourself. You are feared and revered throughout the shinobi world. Even the 5 Kages would think twice before engaging you. Therefore, you would not be worried about anyone hunting you down, especially a mere genin, because most people try to avoid you and anger you as much as possible. However, I am not most people. So this is what he's like. I thought I understood everything when Sensei and Kakashi explained to me. But seeing it with my own eyes is completely different. It seems I had no idea what I was really getting myself into. Now I understand why Kakashi had so much trouble with him. So, you were hunting me, said Jiraiya. Don't take my words literally. I was being figurative. Truth be told, I have absolutely no interest in you whatsoever. And yet you took the effort to track my move ever since we met, said Jiraiya. Only because you took such a keen interest in me. Turns out I was right to keep tabs on you. Said Jiraiya, as he tried to think about how to approach this situation. His father's Minato after all, so I suppose I should not be surprised by his skill level, intelligence, and intuition. Minato was just an academy student when he tracked down Kushina and defeat 3 elite Jonins from Kumo to save her. His mother had that ability where she could extinguish her chakra completely from anyone around her. Maybe that is how he kept tabs on me without I noticing. Come to think of it, both his parents were incredibly sensor type ninja. He must have gained that as well. Are you just gonna stand there and stare at me? Or is there a reason for this meeting, Naruto asks? As Jiraiya did not reply verbally, instead he took the scroll off his back. The gigantic scroll, and tossed it in front of Naruto. What am I supposed to do with this exactly, said Naruto. It's a summoning, I know what it is, said Naruto, cutting him off. Then what are you waiting for? An invitation, Jiraiya asks, with a mysterious glint in his eyes. You're a spy master, so there is no way that you would come in front of me before gathering information from Kakashi-sensei or the Hokage, which means you already know that I have a summoning contract with the Chimera Ants. What makes you think I will forsake them for a bunch of frogs, Naruto asks. I don't expect you to forsake them. I spoke to the elders of Mount Miyaboku, and they agree to make an exception this one time. They're willing to share you with the Chimera Ants, and by the way, they're toads, not frogs, Jiraiya said. And if I say no, Naruto asks. Sarutobi-sensei could not order the toads to accept you as your summoner. He also could not order me to take you on as my apprentice. However, once the toad agreed, and I made my intentions clear about your apprenticeship to me, the choice went out of the window for you, Jiraiya said ominously. Can the old man really order me to accept the toad contract? That doesn't seem right. There is nothing ethical about that. Moreover, seeing that he got approval from the toads, wouldn't that mean he would need to get approval from the Chimera Ants? No. There's no way they can suspect that the Chimera Ants are not an ordinary summoning clan. That they were man-made by me, Naruto thought. I will have to get approval from the Chimera Ants first, of course. It is not a decision I can make that easily, said Naruto. You're not getting permission from anyone. Your allegiance is with Konoha first, and Konoha alone. If the Chimera Ants have a problem with that, and Sarutobi-sensei orders, then they can go bugger off, said Jiraiya, making his conviction firm. Naruto wanted to laugh. Is this his way of testing my loyalty to Konoha? Honestly, he's better at this than Kakashi. However, this is nothing that I'm not prepared for. It's almost fun, Naruto thought to himself. Very well, he said. I will sign the contract. As he stepped forward, Jiraiya blinked in shock. What? I didn't expect him to submit so easily. Does he have a strong bond with the Chimera Ants that he believes they will get over him signing with the toads that easily? Or perhaps the Chimera Ants are just genetic experiments that he made, like Kakashi and Sensei theorized, Jiraiya thought in confusion, as Jiraiya watches Naruto walk towards the scroll. But guys, be and subscribe right here. If you want to see next part and do, like, subscribe, comment down below, and turn on that bell notification as they posted. But I'm off and I'll see you guys soon. Peace.